Hey YouTube world out there, this is Eileen, the environmental educator. Here my Earth flag. It's my Earth from the moon. Maybe you can see that. That's a picture of Earth from the moon hanging up on my wall here. That's, there you go. That's, yeah, I really like this planet. It's the only livable planet we know of, right? I mean, in all the planets, in all the universe, and just we really need to take care of it, and that goes beyond clean energy. And this is day 2 of me doing this. I'm sorry for you guys too that you have to sit here and look at me. I'd love to be doing this with my EE boards that are on environmentaleducator.org, my education, but that is just so time prohibitive, right? Especially since, I live in Big Sky with 4 ski areas, and they just don't have any environmental interest. Big Sky actually has negative environmental interest, right? So, if I'm lucky enough to have a job in this town that employs foreigners before Americans, yeah, lucky enough to have a job in Big Sky when the condition for getting foreigners is you can't get Americans, and yet all the employers here are happy to put Americans out of work, right? Because we are not employing America. We're going to be America's unemployment problem instead of being the solution we need to be. And Big Sky, they don't just disrespect America, they disrespect the whole entire planet, every single person on this planet. They have no sense of responsibility, no sense that they could learn something. Like, I started the environmental educator because, as James Hansen said in 2008, no one's teaching what needs to be taught. And hey, if you haven't seen my videos yet, my eyes can't be subject to light simultaneously, so that's what that is. But the whole world is not getting education. They're getting mixed messages. People telling you that, oh my God, the Pacific garbage patch is bad, and then out, doing commercials for disposable plastic that's in that garbage patch. It's all mixed messages. Every bit of environmental information you are getting is mixed messages, and I'm not. And I am the education that James Hansen says the world needs, and Vail could have done this when I was there in the 90s. They could have already helped solve this problem, but, this is Big Sky's segment here, and yeah, it's April 29th. I don't know if you can see right out there. No, you can't see out the window. It's snowing. It's snowing outside here, so hey, so we take snow for granted, right? What is she talking about? I swear to God, the people in Big Sky act as if I'm asking them to come stand out in a field and wait for a spaceship with me. When I'm like, guys, seriously, we can lead the world environmentally, and I can get you great global press forever in the future by being the person to 1, educate yourselves, 2, take it to the guests, 3, take it to the world, then lead by example, right? Okay, then get all the other ski industries in on it. Ski areas. The ski industry, they don't care. That was part of their video yesterday. They don't. They all yap about it, right? Oh my God, if we could do something, and they all have a Mickey Mouse worker who's doing the same nothing that every other company's doing that is not achieving. This town is just silly. They are nice people, and I'm a nice person. They will tell you that and be like, oh my God, she's so funny. Have you ever hung out with her? I'm a very nice person. And the reason they all hate me here in Big Sky is because they know they are wrong in not letting me achieve desperately needed global environmental betterment. But of course, I've also asked Big Sky to care about America and employ Americans, and to stop running the sweatshop that is the entire tourist industry from coast to coast, a sweatshop. Okay, Walmart doesn't hire foreigners, the tourist industry is, and the tourist industry is 3 times the size of Walmart. We're flooded with foreigners here. I am out of work by foreigners here. Okay, and your government doesn't care. The federal government, they don't care. The state government doesn't care. Okay, so, if I don't get the people to care. Anyways, and people are just too sloppy about that too. But, Big Sky doesn't care about anything is the point. they're willing to be everybody's problem. And they're all very well-intended people. It's just, I call the overwhelming majority. I know a few people here. I know a lot of people here who I like. Okay, they're nice people. We laugh, we joke. Some people do have a clue, and some people know what's going on. They're the minority, and these people are nice, but they just won't learn. They will not even sit down at a meeting and be like, okay, Eileen, what can you do for us? What can we learn? Okay, sell us on this. You have 40 minutes to an hour, right? That's all I need. And open minds. I need open minds to show up, right? But they won't even show up. Okay, I asked the chamber director, Kitty Clemens, who is just, she needs to be replaced. She's just horrible. I mean, they're all horrible. They just don't care. And then, it's Nazi Big Sky. They just pull down the Iron Curtain and be like, do not talk to us again. Okay, I mean, just because they won't hear, logic, because they have set up their illogical and no, they're not right minds, I asked Kitty to set up this meeting of all the chamber members. Okay, we don't even have government in Big Sky. We have sheriffs that are cops. I mean, we have a fire department, but there's no government here. There's no government. It's just no government. So the chamber is the closest thing. So I'm like, hey man, but I guess the fact that I could actually bring a gazillion times more tourists and give Big Sky a gazillion times more press, then they're just, I have no respect for her. Chamber director Kitty, so I went to the chamber board. I just went above her head, and all of them, business owners. I mean, David O'Connor owns Buck's T4, a restaurant and motel. I mean, and a great guy, right? Oh my God, it's him and his wife and his kids. I mean, great people, right? I've waited on them. We laughed like crazy when I waited on them, because I'm really funny. As people used to come in and be like, we're here to have you wait on us because my table's laughed, okay? And I've laughed with these people, I mean, I've been in social settings with his wife, and they know I'm nice too. But does David care? No, he's even got 2 kids, right? He's running the town. He's on the chamber board. Will he even listen? No. John Richardson at the 320. Oh my God, John, I'm God on this ranch. Richardson at the 320. Okay, you're not getting any. That mind is not opening to environmental. I can tell you that. And of course, David and John are 2 of the biggest people who bring foreigners here, right? So I'm horrible, right? They have their sweatshops and they are full on dead set that is their solution they're interested in. And environmentally, those 2, along with Shauna Winter, she sells real estate, right? Bill Simpkins, Simpkins Holland, it's like a big, they, offer, from what I see in their showroom, a lot of high-end building construction things. And, I don't know exactly what he does, but they're a big name in town. And, Pat, somebody, he's a fishing guide, I don't know, I'm probably a really nice guy. All these people are really nice people. And so am I. Just, will they hear about the environment? Absolutely not. Kevin Germain is on the board, okay? Kevin Germain, he was the director of development at Moonlight, and now he's with Big Sky. After the merger, I guess he has a year to prove himself needed, and I'm not sure the status of that. I know the last time I got an email from Kevin was in January being like, hey man, I want to meet Eileen, let's talk. I mean, he's always like, Eileen, we've got to talk. And I'm like, Kev, nobody above you is going to let you do anything. Kevin would do something, okay? His hands are tied. They're just tied. And that is the only good person, okay? Could everybody else get behind him to even have a meeting, the whole chamber board overruled their horrible chamber director, have a meeting, and go out and the whole chamber together be like, okay, Eileen, what can you do for us, okay? And, if I had logical minds and open minds, they would have all agreed right then and there. But I can't even get the meeting. So what did I do? Yeah, that's right. I went door to door with a flyer for, took me over 3 days, seriously, and I went door to door with a flyer because the papers here, they will not let the environmental educator put ads in their paper. They will not give the environmental educator any press, and they are papers whose income is solely off of paid advertising, and they are so adamantly opposed to the environment or taking care of of it, or being responsible, or Big Sky leading the world, that they will not even let me place ads in their paper. Okay, seriously. Anyways, so I went door to door in business to business, and hundreds of flyers. Took me 3 days to distribute them. Okay, and just a little shy of 1,000, and which is a lot for Big Sky. I mean, there's I don't know, a couple thousand residents here, so I tried to really only go to the residents, and so I went door to door, right? And I predicted nobody would show up at the meeting. One man showed up at the meeting just to keep telling me how wrong I was. And I'm like, you're kidding me, right? Okay, I asked the town to employ Americans, okay, stop being America's problem, and employ Americans. And I asked that 100 million Americans are on welfare, okay? Seriously, we can't get them off of welfare because they're better off on welfare than they are working here. Okay, and that is how bad it is. So bad of a sweatshop. Big Sky opened up a food bank here, right? Seriously. Check out my Worse Than Walmart channel. That's going to get going pretty soon, too. Anyways, so I, door to door, one guy showed up, and, just for 2 minutes to basically tell me how wrong I was, and didn't I understand how wrong I was. And I'm like, I'd rather be on a very alone by myself on the right road than be on the wrong road, even though it is everyone else in this town over there. So I was like, no, I don't think I'm wrong. I'm not wrong, which is why this whole town hates me, because I'm not wrong. And they just won't step up to the plate and be right. And they know they're not being right. But, are they going to actually do the responsible thing? No, they're all just going to stand together and convince themselves that I'm the horrible one. Right? That's all they're going to do. So, the thing is it's so easy to lead from here. Big Sky is really growing. They're, have a lot more of a name for themselves than before I came here. And, they want to be equal to Vail and Aspen, and I'm like, well, one, you're never going to be, because you're a lot more Mickey Mouse. I hate to tell you, just because the Yellowstone Club is in Big Sky doesn't mean Big Sky, especially when Big Sky Resort is running the mountain. You are not going to catch up to Vail or Aspen. I can assure you of that. They're just so far behind, and in a lot of respects, that's good, because Vail and Aspen are beyond off the charts unenvironmental, and Big Sky hasn't caught up to that yet. But we don't need to aspire to be Big Sky or Aspen. But the thing is I can give the Big Sky name a lot better name for itself by leading the world environmentally, right? And by employing Americans, being America's solution when 100 million Americans are on welfare. Right? Being America's solution, leading the world environmentally, getting everyone here educated. It's online. 40 seconds a day is the video. It's not that hard, and it makes things make sense. But hey, will any one of them even look at it? No, they're not going to learn anything. They're adults. They're parents. They're not going to learn anything. They just live in La La Land. They're nice people, and I call their brains the NIZ, N-I-Z, the nothing important zone. Nothing important ever gets in to a Big Sky resident's brain, for the overwhelming majority part. There's a few, right? There's always a few small, majority of people that you're like, wow, that's important. Everybody else, la 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 la. I had this one lady I work with, right? She's having her third child come July. Her and her husband are the salt of the earth. Ask anybody. He is on every volunteer committee going. They care, and they're nice people, right? And they really think they do, right? But she actually said to me Eileen, no one in Big Sky would do that. She was walking when she said it. She just didn't even miss a beat. And as a mother of two, and now bringing a third person into the world, she just, has not even given a thought, what could we do? What could I learn? What could I do for my kids? That is just how oblivious the people in Big Sky are. But then they're pretty Nazi staunch when they all decide that they're not going to do something. They are just, they just won't even hear it out, right? They just won't even give it a chance. They just stonewall it. And, it's like I told Kevin up at Moonlight. I mean, years ago, I kept begging, like, Kev, come on, man, let's bring the whole ski industry here. Moonlight Basin, before Big Sky took it over, I don't know what Big Sky has done with it. I can't even afford to ski anymore, and my condo is walk to ski lifts, right? How horrible is that? And they're all proud of themselves, okay? So I haven't been up to Moonlight. That's my mountain, because it was great before Big Sky took it over, man. It was a gem. It was an awesome place. And, they have a reusable cafeteria, reusable plates, reusable silverware, reusable cups. They're the only people out there who do. I'm like, Kev, come on, let's bring the whole ski area here. I mean, I asked the National Ski Area to do this a long time ago. They won't do it, right? I'm like, let's bring them all here. And the whole ski area. You'd have the press, okay? You'd have ski magazines giving this event press later on. They were at Moonlight in Big Sky. Big Sky's leading the world environmentally, right? And they'd be eating at your restaurants, drinking at your watering holes, renting your skis, staying in your rentals. I mean, and you can't buy that press. You have to actually do it. And we could have convinced all the other ski area operators, you really need to convert yours to reusable too. Right there, we could have led the world. Could that happen? No. Would Kevin have liked to have done it? I think so, I mean, one day I saw him and I was with my boss, and it was very fast. We were walking into Moonlight. I have to clean because I'm horrible. No one will hire me. And in the sweatshop that Big Sky is, no one will accommodate my eyes in the workplace. But cleaning, if I'm lucky enough to have a job before a foreigner will, because nobody sees you generally. Okay, so we're walking into the Moonlight Lodge. It's my first year of not even being able to afford to ski in this horrible sweatshop. Okay, and anyways, so we walk into, I have this bag of Talos. I'm doing a Talo service to people that already have way too many Talos and a washer. I was going to let a word out there. Okay, and a washer and dryer. But we have to bring towels. How unenvironmental is that? It's beyond unenvironmental. Will they listen to it? No. So I walk in the door with my boss, who's trying to get the doors to the penthouse open, and Kevin sees me. This all happened in about, I don't know, a minute, 40 seconds to a minute, seriously. Like, Kevin comes over, he's like, Eileen, man, how's it going? I'm like, well, you're looking at it, and I'm like, yeah, this really isn't a good time unless you want me to start crying, I mean, right, I used to be at Moonlight skiing, and you can't even afford to ski in this town. Anyways, so Kev backs up, okay, and then he goes out, he comes back, like, he backs up and he just looks at me and he comes over and he's like, Eileen, we really should get together. And I'm like, Kev, that would be great, except we both know it's not going to happen, and we both know we could waste my time getting together, but what? Like, nothing's going to happen, and so he backed off. And I mean, even my boss was like, man, that guy seems like he'd like to help you, so I mean, I fully believe that Kevin would have loved to have had that little conference, just, it wasn't allowed. Greg Pack, he was the general manager, and, I was like, Greg, come on, Greg and I used to be buddies, right? We've taken chairlift ride together. I mean, right, he's down running Telluride now, being as, I think maybe he inherited a little environmental Mickey Mouse worker. They're all not doing anything, right? Oh, they all have their worker, trust me, and if you present them, like, light years better solutions, they're like, no, I've got my work, we're doing fine. I'm like, no, you're not, because the ski industry nonstop screams for someone to somehow finally achieve. Okay, just like the whole rest of the world, you're not doing good. But, Greg, when he was here, just, it seems like that's where the buck stopped at Moonlight, Kevin was like, Eileen, we're in bankruptcy. We can't afford somebody. I'm like, Kev, I'll save you money. Pay me later what I save you or less, maybe depending upon how much I save you. I was like, I'm desperate, okay? I mean, it's just, but hey, that couldn't happen either, So Kevin was the one good guy around here. His hands are tied. He's at Big Sky Resorts now, and trust me, your hands are tied there. You do not think beyond their North Korean, line of what you're told to think. You do not think that. Anyways, that's just Big Sky and how much a town of 4 ski areas. 4, okay? There's 2 private ski areas, Moonlight Basin and Big Sky Resorts. Then there is the private Yellowstone Club. And then there is the cross-country ski area Lone Mountain Ranch. Okay? 4 ski areas and 0 environmental interest in 2014. And I'm the horrible one, right? Right? And I am actually here unemployed while foreigners work, while Big Sky could, and trust me, there's any one of a number of, people who come here that if Big Sky cared about the environment, they'd be more than happy to write me out a big check. But all of these people are actually, I swear to God, they are not just happy when I'm unemployed. They're not just happy when I'm working behind foreigners, okay? Then they're not just happy when they are just putting up a stone wall to anything environmental and keeping me from achieving desperately needed global good, okay? They are their most happy and proudest. And by they, I mean, the top level powers in this town. And even a lot of the citizens are at the point where they just realize, how dare you challenge us to do the right thing when we refuse to? So, they hate me now too. They are absolutely proudest when I am unemployed while foreigners work, why they are also keeping me from achieving desperately needed global good and giving them great global press forever in the future. That is just Big Sky's endless illogical logic thinking, according to their, we together came up with this, and of course, leave out a dozen or so relevant variables in all of their equations to come out with their la and conclusion. But that's just Big Sky, but it's 2014, and I would think most people would think that they should at least pretend to care about the environment, but they're so proud not to. And, they're in their glory right now that they are preventing me from achieving and them getting great global press as I'm unemployed while foreigners work, because that's just how they are here. So, hey, when you're considering a vacation, maybe you should, put this in the equation. I mean, as I say, no other place, I guarantee you, this would not be any different in any other resort. Okay, I could live in any. I lived in Vail. It was the same there. Okay, it would not be any different anywhere else. But at least the others pretend to care. They at least acknowledge the environment as something that really needs people's attention. And Big Sky, they're just absolutely not. So hey, thanks a lot. Share this, share the videos. I am the environmental 911 call the world needs, and YouTube, I guess, is the way to get me there. So this is 911, and I am the solutions the world needs. Check out video 1, and that pretty much lays it out there. I can't repeat it every time. And thanks for watching. Stay tuned. I'm going to start, daily commentary, I guess, about the news. Bill McKibben, again, screaming for environmental solution. The ski industry, oh my God, what are we going to do? Well, hey, right here, guys, right here. So I'll be starting that too soon. So take care, ears.